Hey guys, welcome to 22 Lima Romeo, where we focus on the competitive side of the rimfire world. We are back out here at NCRGC to shoot the October 2023 NRL22 Course of Fire. This Course of Fire is brought to us by Pete Fletcher out of West Lafayette, Indiana. This Course of Fire is simplistic in its design. However, you're going to find one stage out there is going to challenge even the most experienced competitors for a clean. We're going to get out there and set some stages up and shoot this thing, but before we do, I wanted to remind you guys that we have a commitment on this channel. We promise to always keep our channel ad-free, so you never have to watch an ad to see how we're going to shoot the NRL22 Course of Fire. Let's get out there and see how this goes.
First up for this month, we have Tank Trap Terror. We have a 1.5 at 60 yards, a 2 and 2.5 at 85 yards. We're going to start standing, rifle and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, you will take a position on any tank trap tip and engage the targets from near to far, large to small, with one shot each, then move to a new position. All tank trap tips must be used as well as the center. You may pick any position order after shooting from the first tank trap tip. No position can be repeated.
Shooter ready?
Shooter ready.
3, 2, 1, engage.
Alright, starting this month off right, we've got a tank trap. For my gear on this stage, we'll be using the Griap CNC Mini Plate Pro and the Armageddon Gear Schmedium. And something that I don't mention enough on this channel, which is the Flatline Ops Tango RM bubble level. You guys don't often see that because it's tucked off the left side of the rifle. That little bubble level is my go-to. I've been using it for the last couple of years, and I don't feel like there is anything out there that's better. So as per usual with tank traps, I always take a wide, splayed out position, squaring my hips and my shoulders up with my rifle and the target. I reach up with my support hand and put a little bit of pressure on that gamer plate, pressing the rifle down into the bag to help make me stable from those tips. Now, the way I decided to shoot this was tip, center, tip, tip. I wanted to make sure that my wind call was good, so dropping to the center made the most logical sense as the second position. The wind at this range can be really tricky sometimes. Today was no different. You'll see the wind change directions throughout the day, but that's just what we have to deal with here. Honestly, it's made me a better shooter for it. All three of these positions are basically going to be a repeat except for the kneeling position. It made sense for the purposes of speed to just run holdovers on this. The targets were generous enough that I didn't feel like I needed to dial, and the wind was relatively forgiving, even though there's a couple of those impacts that hit kind of the right edge of the target while I was shooting this. That was a good way to start this month's Course of Fire. Let's get on to the next stage.
That's clean.
30 seconds left.
Nice.
Alright guys, next up, we have Final Countdown. We have a 1.5 and 2 at 70 yards, and a 2.5 and 3 at 100 yards. We're going to start standing, rifle and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, you will take a prone, supported position, and engage the targets in the following manner. Near, large, 1 shot. Near, small, 2 shots. Far large, for 3 shots. Far small, 4 shots. Note, this is the bonus point stage where you earn 0.1 bonus point per second remaining on the clock.
Yeah, shooter's ready.
3, 2, 1, engage.
So for the time stage, I decided to keep things simple. All I used was the Harris SBRM bipod with the Really Right Stuff Arca adapter and the Armageddon Gear Schmedium in heavy fill. This stage is pretty much going to be a speed run for everybody. The targets are generous, shooting prone supported is always pretty simple. Just be sure that you wait for those targets to settle down. I felt like I shot this kind of slow. During match day, I expect to speed up a little bit. I think dialing may have slowed me down a little bit, but I would rather dial and get those impacts than miss a shot on this one and potentially lose out on 10 points, because even though you can shoot this really fast, you would have to shoot the whole stage in 20 seconds to make up for a missed shot. We haven't seen a stage that simple in a while, so it was a little refreshing. Let's get on to the next one.
That's a tiny little group out there at 100. That's awesome.
1 minute and 12.
Next up, we have Curse of the Pyramid. We have a 1 1/4 inch KYL rack at 55 yards and a 3 inch at 100. We're going to start standing, rifle and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, you will take a position on the NRL22 pyramid and engage the targets from 5 different positions in the following manner. Far target, 1 inch KYL, move. Far target, 3/4 inch KYL, move again. Far target, 1/2 inch KYL, move. Far target, 1/4 inch KYL, move again. Far target, 1/4 inch KYL. Positions are outside edges and center 2x4s.
Shooter ready?
Shooter ready.
3, 2, 1, engage.
Alright guys, on to the most difficult stage of this month's Course of Fire. For my gear on this stage, I'll be using the Grey Ops CNC Mini Plate Pro, the Mini Plate Pro Pad from Armageddon Gear, and the Wee Bad Strapless Behemoth. For my strategy on this one, my initial intuition was to shoot from the second and the first 2x4s on the pyramid. However, I found when I tried that, I timed out miserably, so I had to change my strategy. What I decided was that I was going to shoot the whole thing from a kneeling position. While that did buy me some time, it cost me some stability. Now, cleaning a KYL rack at 55 yards is difficult enough from the prone position. It adds a whole other layer of difficulty when you're having to do that from on top of this pyramid prop. So for my sequence, I decided to shoot this from the left side on the third rung, move to the right side of the third rung, then down to the second rung, and across back to the left. I felt like that kind of minimized my movement and gave me a little additional stability, considering I could almost anchor that rifle to my knee for that second rung. Now, it's worth noting that it's easy to forget that you have to take 2 shots from each position. When you're practicing this, or when you go to shoot this on match day, just remember, every position is going to be 2 shots and then you move. Now, all things considered on this stage, given the amount of movement and the difficulty of the targets, I really didn't feel like I had enough time to dial parallax. So what made sense to me was just to leave that 3-inch target at 100 yards blurry and keep my parallax focused on that 55-yard KYL rack. I've had enough pyramids for one match. Let's go ahead and move on to the next stage for this month's Course of Fire.
That's a tough stage.
18 seconds left.
That's a tough stage. Okay.
Okay.
On to the next one.
For the 4th stage for this month's Course of Fire, we have Pan's Labyrinth. We have 2 1-inch targets at 50 yards on single hangers spread 10 yards apart, a 2-inch at 67, and a 3-inch at 100. We're going to start standing, rifle and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, you will take a position on the 55-gallon barrel and engage the targets with 1 shot each in the following order: near target on the right, near target on the left, far, middle, near target on the right, near target on the left, far, middle again, near target on the right, finally near target on the left.
Shooter ready?
Shooter ready.
For the 4th stage, we're going to be shooting basically modified prone. For my gear on this stage, I'll be using the Armageddon Gear Medium, the Harris SBRM bipod on that Arca rail. For this stage, the Arca rail is really going to be where you gain a lot of benefit, because you can move that bipod up close to your magazine well to get that modified prone position on top of this barrel. Now for this stage, remembering the shot sequence I think is going to be the most tricky part. I don't think that the dope is going to be too hard to memorize. So before shooting this stage, I went over the shot sequence in my head multiple times. I committed that shot sequence to memory, and it made me efficient in moving from target to target. I don't think dialing is necessary for this stage, plus I think it'll just burn unnecessary time. That was one of the simpler stages on this month's Course of Fire. Let's get on to the last one. Wrapping up this month's Course of Fire, we have the Infield Monster. We have a 1.5 and 2.5 on a double hanger at 70 yards. This is a 1-bag and bipod only stage. We're going to start standing, rifle and all gear in hand, mag in, action open. On the start signal, you'll engage the targets, large to small, in the following order and manner: 2 shots each, prone supported on the left side of the tripod. Then 1 shot each, standing supported position on the top of the tripod. Finally, 2 shots each, prone supported, right side of the tripod, but support side.
Shooter ready?
Yep, shooter ready.
3, 2, 1, engage.
Alright, wrapping this month's Course of Fire up, we got another simple stage.
Shooter wasn't ready.
For my gear on this one,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
ready.
going to be using the Grey Ops CNC Mini Plate Pro and the Armageddon Gear Medium in heavy fill with the Harris SBRM bipod with the Really Right Stuff Arca adapter. For this stage, you can actually buy a lot of time in the first 4 shots, because you go to a prone supported position on strong side, and those targets are pretty generous for that position. Once you transition up to the top of the tripod, that's when you need to really kind of slow things down and take your time, because you don't want to miss either one of those shots. You don't have a lot of surface area to be finding support for your body or your support hand. So take your time on the top of the tripod. I've been working diligently on my trigger control from support side. This is something that I think everybody should practice, is just getting out there and setting up and shooting support side, because this seems to be something that's recurring more in monthly course of fires. So I think it'll really benefit you to just during your range sessions get a couple of shots support side, just to familiarize yourself with what the optic is supposed to look like, with where your anchor point is for your cheek, and what it feels like to follow through with your support hand. That was a pretty fun course of fire. It's one of the simpler ones that we've had recently, so if you have buddies who have never shot NRL22 before, this would be the one to get them out to shoot.
Cool.
Good. All right, guys. Well, that is a wrap for the October 2023 NRL22 course of fire. I think this is going to be our last course of fire where I'm not having to wear a jacket to come out here and shoot. If you guys enjoy this sort of content, do me a huge favor. Reach down there and click that subscribe button. Like the video and share it with the shooting buddies. Who knows? They may learn a thing or two. Thank you, Mr. Fletcher. We really enjoyed your course of fire, and we hope to see you out on the range.